Wednesday night. I think this is February 20 or 19th today. Yeah, 2025. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you are back with I-12GIA, the voice of experience, for a regular Wednesday night show. Our purpose here is to educate and entertain. Our opinions are our own, and as the specialist, not a real professor down there brought up earlier, they are our opinions. If you don't like them, you don't have to. If you don't believe them, you don't have to. Do your own research. That's kind of the point of all this. We try to vet all the information that we get, but in our current world, you never really know what's true and what isn't anymore. It's like we're all living in the twilight zone. So I'd like to thank our sponsors, I-12GIA and Peace of Mind Training. I talked to the main guy from Peace of Mind tonight, and hopefully we'll have him back as either a mystery guest or a special guest or something here pretty soon. He's finishing up his education. I don't know where Nomad is, but I'm sure he's somewhere he probably shouldn't be. so somewhere dangerous. So keep him in your thoughts and prayers if you would. We managed not to get kicked off of YouTube last week. So we're going to try to moderate our language and some of the things that we say, as difficult as that may be. So we may be a little less entertaining than we usually are, depending on your perspective, I guess. If you have guests that pop in, we're going to be live on YouTube. So we're streaming there. And if you go there to watch us, please hit the like and subscribe button, because that's one of the things that helps keep us going. Okay, on that happy note, let's get this show on the road. Oh, yes, also one more thing before I forget. Our show is rated mature audiences only on YouTube. So if children and those with delicate sensibilities should probably not be here. So the lineup for tonight will be Vice President Vance's speech in Europe. We will cover some stuff in Gaza, and then we'll finish up with some corruption in Ukraine. So not a real professor there. Would you mind starting us off?
Good evening, guys. How's it going?
How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, little just to piggyback what you said earlier, and some of the things we're going to touch on tonight, especially activist journalists. Okay. So I am not a real professor. You don't have to listen to what I say. It's my opinion. I deliver information as I see it, as I get it, and hopefully everything I deliver is true and factual to the best of my knowledge. But go do your own research. That's important. That's what the rest of us do, right? Hey Jeff, how's it going? Sam Adams, good to see you in the chat. So JD Vance's speech on 10 Night Shade 13. Hello. JD Vance's speech, in my opinion, probably one of the greatest speeches given by an American politician ever. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Yep, most definitely.
I think you're looking at. Between him and Tulsi, you're looking at 48. He's going to be 48, and she's going to be the next vice president. Yeah.
Yes, and hopefully we follow that up with Tulsi as president after that. I think the two of them are a winning ticket for sure. JD Vance, wow, United States Marine, senator, and now vice president, gave the most politest bitch slap to the European Union that I have ever witnessed any politician do. And I'm very grateful for that. And I would like to say, for anybody that's listening or watching, I did vote for that. Just as I voted for Elon Musk. So yes, I did. 10 Night Shade 13, JD Vance Tulsi 48. Yes, absolutely.
Hey,
I did vote for that.
Professor, got a real quick question. Do you know if he wrote that speech himself, or did he have a speechwriter?
That I do not know. I'm
kind of my first impression was that he wrote that himself. I didn't see any teleprompters out there. I may be wrong, but because that was from the heart. That was him talking. That wasn't him reading words off a piece of paper that some.
You're right. I didn't see any teleprompters either.
Yeah, some 19-year-old intern didn't write that speech for him. That was from his heart. So anyway, just a side note. But thanks. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there. Go ahead.
No, interrupt. That's what we're here for. We're having a conversation. Annie, how's it going? I'm glad you're in the chat.
Annie.
Hey, Annie.
yeah, I think that speech was hands down probably one of the greatest speeches I've seen a politician give, and I think that's going to go down in history. And we needed that speech as Americans. We needed that speech to go, and I am so grateful. He said that he's not worried so much about the external threat, Russia, China. Yeah, you can pick whatever threat, if you will, right? But he's not worried about that. He's worried about the threat from within, and that is exactly some of the things that at least I feel, and I'm sure there are many other Americans that feel the same way. So that did you notice during the speech, everybody was dead silent. Yeah. There was some pissed off people there. Good, rightfully so.
Hey, Professor, well,
yes, sir.
Just based on your last comment, going back to 1963, the Bay of Pigs, right after that, when Russia flinched and Kennedy was victorious, Nikita Khrushchev, whose son currently lives in Boston, by the way, told JFK, "Go someday your country will fall without a shot being fired." You think Vance was making reference to that?
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, I bet you. We do have the political Avengers right now. So I know that they're thinking of a lot of things that we're not talking about, which is great. I am very grateful for Doge's work, and I'm sure we're going to get into that. But one of the main things I wanted to cover, especially that Vice President Vance was in Germany, and the left is losing their mind with everything. The left loves to throw the term Nazi out when it falls under anything other than their direct beliefs. Okay, so if you don't agree with Michael Moore / Rosie O'Donnell, they're the same person, allegedly. If you don't agree with what they say 100%, right, you are, according to them, a Nazi. And we've heard this from the Squad. We've heard this from many politicians. Now, that is a really strong word to throw out, right? We know the left likes to recreate history, right? They like to rewrite it however they want. And they've rewritten history so many times that they actually forget what had actually happened. So we know the Nazi Party, right, existed from 1933 to 1945, right? And its chairman, right, its leader, right, was Adolf Hitler. And the 1,000-year Reich fell because they got stomped by the Allies, right? They got stomped by the United States. We sent the greatest generation ever to really root out and eradicate an evil. And a lot of them, we don't like to recognize, a lot of them were children, right? They were 16, 17, 18 years old. There were some that were 15 that lied about their age and enlisted in the military. And they rushed the beaches of Normandy, right, under heavy German bombardment, MG-42s, right? A lot of them were getting killed right in the landing craft, okay? And the horrors they've experienced in the war, from all the way through that until the very end and afterwards, it's a disgrace to those men and women to call people nowadays Nazis, right? Because they're not the real thing. They're not. And if any of these leftist liberals or these actors and actresses or these news anchors that like to call conservatives that actually met a real Nazi from 33 to 45, they shit themselves. Okay, they wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be able to handle it. They wouldn't be able to handle it at all. Now, one thing that I saw this week, which I thought was interesting, and somebody I wanted to bring up because there were a lot of heroes during World War II. And one story I didn't know about was a woman, Irina Sendler, right? She was a Polish worker who's credited with saving over 2,500 Polish Jews from the ghetto, smuggling them out. She was a nurse, a humanitarian worker, and she was caught by the Gestapo, and she was tortured in unimaginable ways for months and months. And this woman never cracked, not once. She never gave up one single piece of information about the operation they were running.
Mhm.
If you have the chance, please look her up, Irina Sendler. What a story! She was up for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2007, and she lost to Al Gore because he made some slides about the fucking weather. So
Imagine
she
that.
about the weather. So there's that. My whole point with this entire thing was the left likes to throw out the Nazi word, and the truth is, they were defeated 93 years ago, right? Or 93 years ago, they were in existence, and we eradicated them. The more we keep bringing this up, the more fuel you're giving to a fire that should have been stomped out a long time ago.
Yeah.
And this comes back to the point of trying to be civil when we have a disagreement. But one of the things I've come to learn is most liberals, Democrats, or whatnot that I have met or I have talked to, there seems to be a little bit of hint of mental illness, and I guess you just can't rationalize that. So
you can't. But to me, if you hear the Godwin rule, right? As soon as you bring up Nazism in any argument, you've just discredited your entire argument.
that's it.
So that's kind of where you're at with that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
mental
absolutely.
illness and who knows what.
Yeah, and you see it in all facets of entertainment, actors, actresses, even video game designers. They're given their press conferences about something, they like to throw out, hey, who doesn't want to punch a Nazi in the face?
Right.
Yeah, well, our grandfathers did that. Our grandmothers did that, right? The underground resistance actually did do that. So before you'd say you would like to, why don't you honor the ones that actually went and did it, right? Do that. And read their stories, read their books, right? Find out about them. That's the best way we can honor them. So before you throw out a term like that, you should probably know what you're talking about. So that's my rant on that. But as far as the JD Vance speech in Germany, I thought it was interesting that just a couple days after that, 60 Minutes did a ride along with the Polizei. And the Polizei is out there enforcing the misinformation stuff online. So if you insult somebody online, you can absolutely be raided. You could be arrested. You could be fined. They can confiscate your computer and your smartphone because that'll live on the internet forever. So I thought it was interesting. And, those that don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. Right.
Yep.
I start to see that slide. That slide that Germany slowly headed back towards. So that's something we should pay attention to for sure.
Yep, without a doubt. I'm not sure what the specialist is doing up there. I think we might have lost him. He's probably ordering a pizza or who knows what he's doing. So since he's busy, I guess we'll just go ahead and jump right on into my little adventure, which was going down the rabbit hole of whatever it was the Ukraine today.
I'm back.
Are you back? All right.
Yeah.
You want to do your little segment next then?
I didn't know. I thought the professor was still going at it. No.
Nope. He's excuse me. He's done. Damn.
All right.
Allergies here are killing me. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna mute myself.
Yeah, my allergies have been bugging me too at night, especially. So where do I want to start? I don't know.
Well, I have to say, Jeff, I love it. Fun to watch the Democrats panic. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, hey, that's Annie's friend. Hey, Jeff. He's her neighbor. I guess he was hooked on us last week. So
Annie Hartford. My dad was 17 when he dropped out of school, lied about his age to get in the Navy. Annie, yes. That's why we called them the greatest generation.
Yep. And like we were discussing earlier.
That's a true hero right there. That's a true hero right there.
Right. As we were discussing earlier, 1 of 3 that stormed the beaches in Normandy was either killed or wounded.
Yeah.
1 out of every 3.
Yeah, I can't watch Private Ryan without having tears in my eyes.
Oh, you and me both, buddy.
And we got the anniversary of Iwo Jima today as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Gaza. So they're sending 3 bodies back tomorrow, mother and 2 babies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking as a Jew now from the heart. So every death resulting in October 7th needs to be avenged.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm disappointed that, and I'm going to say it, I'm disappointed in President Trump, because last week he said if they're not all released by noontime on Saturday, there's going to be hell to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? Saturday is come and gone, right? These people are still prancing around like Peter Pan with their little booties, right? And they're sending 3 dead people home tomorrow, mother and 2 babies.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? If you got my goat on that one, Mr. Trump, okay? Humanitarian concerns. I promised myself I would be nice. So I'm going to use the word yents, okay? And just to educate our audience, yents is Yiddish for fuck, okay? So I won't be using the F word anymore. I'll be using the word yent. You know what, Sam Adams, all with due respect, I love you, brother, but you know what? Yeah, you know what? Those debts need to be avenged. Take it up with Mossad. Look what happened after they killed all the Israeli hostages in Munich. Okay. Humanitarian concerns. I could give 2 shits less about the Gazans. Okay. They should have been turned into a pile of glass right after October 7th. How that didn't happen, I don't know. So I got to give Trump credit, though. He wants them out of there, and he wants to get them all out of there, and he ain't going to let them back in. And that's great. I'm all in favor of that. Number 2, international law. Well, you know what? You can take the international law and shove it up your...
You can say ass. It's okay.
No, I'm not going to say ass.
Oh.
I'm going to say...
Dude, you just said ass again.
Where the sphincter attaches, okay?
Right. Where the sun don't shine.
Where the sun don't shine.
Nobody got the South Park reference.
It's
Never
the
mind.
ICC, which really nobody recognizes that actually after they got done executing all the Nazis, they should have just disbanded the ICC. So I don't think international law or the Geneva Convention, which is basically a pile of bullshit because nobody behaves, or plays by the Geneva Convention rules today anyway,
right?
Including Americans.
That's a fact.
I don't think it has any relevance in this discussion. Now, political ramifications. Oh my God, here we go. Politics all over again. Politics between what? Israel and Hamas? Hamas needs to be eradicated.
Mm-hmm.
And for the people that say they're neighboring countries, they're not neighboring countries. They're not countries at all.
Mm-hmm.
Hamas is lucky. The Israelis are at least letting them live on their land. But so they're not neighboring countries. So I don't think political ramifications have anything to do with it. And political opinions and media responses, what's their favorite saying? Opinions are like assholes.
Everybody's got one.
Everybody has one, right?
And some smell worse than others.
And some smell worse than others. So that's what you can do with your opinion. Negotiations. Like, well, I thought, Trump said, come Saturday at noontime, there'll be all hell to pay. Well, that hasn't happened yet, and I don't know what they're negotiating. I don't know what there is to negotiate.
Right.
You can't negotiate with terrorists. And as loving Golda Meir once said, you can't live peacefully with somebody that wants to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she turned the Mossad loose on all those people that killed those Israeli athletes in Munich in the 70s. Let me go on to the impact on security. I think Israel has their own security well in hand. Mm-hmm. Would anybody really care to debate that? Mm-hmm. No. Okay. All right. The role of the international community.
Well, hold on. I do think they will need some sort of backup. I mean, Israel's surrounded by enemies on all sides. Let's be honest, right? They are. So I do think Israel's going to need some sort of support so they don't get completely overrun.
Don't. Hey, listen. I think they've done an admirable job taking care of themselves so far.
Well, they have. Well, I mean, honestly, they haven't technically taken care of themselves. We do provide aid, which I want to make it clear that I, even though a lot of people disagree with me, I am in favor for. If we are going to give foreign aid, I would rather it go to Israel.
I think
okay?
Biden cut their aid off before Trump came into office, and we were
There was a lot of
getting along fine without the Biden's aid. I think we were. And
so that's because Biden was given half the stuff.
Not only did we do this to Hamas, but we did this to Hezbollah too, and we went after them. So,
but at the same time, our money, and our M4s and all of our weapons went to Hamas. So let's not forget that, right? So maybe this could have been ended sooner if they didn't end up with U.S. weapons. But remember the $1 billion dock that sunk within the first few hours? Remember that?
That was Biden's disaster. Yeah.
That was another one. That was another one of his, right?
Yep.
But overall, right, the whole landscape, Israel's surrounded by enemies on all sides. And we walked through this entire war. They were getting attacked from every which way. So I do think Israel does need allies. You could stand alone, but only for so long, right? I mean, a lot of their jets, for their Air Force, we supplied a lot of the ammunition and munitions we supply. So I do think that needs to continue. But you don't want to start trying to do this all on your own while fighting everybody all at once, right?
Well,
I think we can agree on that.
Yeah, we can. I mean, logistics either wins or loses wars.
Right.
And they have limited manufacturing capability. So without some kind of backup,
again, I think we're perfectly capable. If we were forced to go it alone, we could do it.
So you're talking, weapons production, ammunition production, stuff like that. You can handle all of that.
I think it could be done. Yep.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
But
let's hope it doesn't come down to that.
Yeah.
We got a friend in Trump. We didn't have one in Biden.
Right.
So I'll leave it there. I'm still disappointed though. Last Saturday noontime has come and gone, and all hell hasn't broken loose yet.
Yeah, that didn't get a whole lot of play.
When I interpreted all hell breaking loose as short-term tactical nuclear, turning that whole strip, that 1.8 mile, 1.9 mile strip into a pile of Yentl glass. Okay.
Yeah.
That, my friend, is all hell breaking loose. Anything short of that is totally unacceptable.
Well, I mean, so I see your tactical nuke, and can I trade you some maybe precision cruise missile strikes, or maybe a couple of B-52 flyovers, or maybe even sending the Freedom Dorito over with non-nuclear weapons? I mean, I think before we do...
No, because I'll tell you why. Because all those little 6 and 7-year-old kids you see with the AK-47s, those are the future terrorists. Those are the terrorists of the future. So,
as a Catholic, I have to stop at that one.
You know what? I'm not for putting them in an orphanage and feeding them. No, I'm against that totally. Now, okay, let's go. Let's skip the role of the international community, because I don't care what the international community has to say.
Jeff, that's a good point. I bet you there are SEALs there, and I would go one more step in saying not only are there SEALs, but my guess would be there would be some sort of Delta or Green Beret unit there as well.
Yeah. Let's don't forget also, Trump did send a whole truckloads and shiploads of Moabs over, mother of all bombs, 2,000-pound penetrators.
I haven't seen any in action yet, so I still haven't seen.
ISIS saw them.
Promises made, promises broken. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm nice about it. Okay,
you are. Yeah, you're fine.
Psychological effects. Okay, people, we're gonna have to deal with the psychological trauma experienced by the hostages and their family, as well as the soldiers that fought this war to get those people out, and the broader societal impact on the communities in the conflict zone, right? So That's going to come at a cost. That ain't going to be an easy task to undertake.
100%. Absolutely.
And then we're going to have the historical context. We're going to provide background on the history of the hostage situations in the region and the contextualization of the current events and their significance, you know? So they're releasing the mother and the two dead babies tomorrow. But then that only brings us down to like 60. There are 60 that are still unaccounted for.
Mhm.
And we're still playing this game with these people, you know? And yet, so the future implications of this whole thing.
Mhm.
I really don't care what the future implications are.
Mhm.
I just want to see these people wiped off the face of the earth. It'll make me entirely happy. And maybe you'll see me wear a tie instead of just a suit coat. And with that, I'm done. I'm going to go take a Tylenol.
Okay. Well, at least you
The
didn't
gentleman
say,
yields back his time.
yeah. At least you didn't say a Geritol. Taking a Tylenol instead of a Geritol.
Don't go there.
or
I don't need bladder control, all right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's an enema I think involved in there somewhere too. Isn't there some like enema made out of pumpkin seeds or some such shit? I don't know how. Never mind. Well, yeah, never mind. Moving along. All right.
Did I hear Doge mentioned earlier?
You did hear Doge. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll
Hey,
discuss that.
I heard tonight there's a distinct. I'm talking like less than a dimension of a pubic hair possibility that we could be getting extra checks every month.
I heard something about that too. $5,000, I think, from rebates.
So everybody, so all the 80% of the money recovered is going to go towards paying down the national debt. The other 20% is going to come back, supposed to come back to us as a refund. Like,
yeah, that'd be great. The only problem I see with that is what's that going to do to inflation? You know, they got to be kind of careful with that. It's kind of a cool idea.
dude, it's going to be putting money in your pocket, and you're going to be spending it faster than you're getting it. I can guarantee.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of the point. You know, that's what happened with.
I'm doing it now.
I agree.
Okay?
I agree too. Yeah, I'd love to see it, man. I think
it's gonna boost this economy into another stratosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could pay the debt that I racked up during this last 4 years of Biden inflation. So
I want them to do something about the 35% credit card interest if they really want to fix something. Let's deal with that freaking nightmare.
Yeah,
but because
there's a whole lot that needs to be done.
Yeah. Speaking of Doge, you know, man, there's sure I was having a discussion about this with somebody earlier. You know, Trump is a master. You know, he's given a master class in negotiations and how to do all this shit. You know, because they're saying, well, why? You know, with Elon Musk, why he's not elected. You know, he has nothing to do with the government. Nobody voted for Elon Musk. Well, yeah, you're right. He didn't.
I did.
Well,
I did.
I get that. Yeah,
right? Because Trump said he was going to do it, and that's the policy I voted for.
Yeah, exactly.
So 77 million of us did, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So the point is that Trump is able to develop all these policies and get them out there, and he's using Elon Musk as a foil against all the rest of the shitheads in the world, the liberals and everybody else. You know, so because Elon Musk doesn't care. I mean, how many people has he already said, well, fuck you if you don't like it, you know.
Right. And they're worried about him accessing information. The guy builds our rockets for NASA.
Know, right?
He builds our rockets. Like, give me a break. Like, stop.
Does he have a security clearance? You know, it's kind of
of course he does.
So that's the point, you know. But Trump is using him though as a buffer between his policies. You know, he's kind of like a guard dog, which is really smart because you know Musk. I mean, he's the world's richest man. Maybe arguably one of the world's most intelligent men. He doesn't give a fuck about who says what about him. He can't be bought.
Exactly.
You know, so you know he's an excellent example, excellent person to do that. So I think that's kind of cool too. Plus, he has the intelligence and the team in place to initiate something like Doge or Dogs or whatever however you pronounce it. With using AI and all those kind of things, which when we'll get into it a little bit later, when I started poking around in Ukraine, there is so much OSINT and stupid shit going on that it's going to take some kind of an artificial intelligence to parse through all that crap and figure out what's going on. The levels of corruption and fraud and waste.
While you mentioned Ukraine, I got to say this. I'm on Putin's side right now.
A lot of people are.
I have to lean with you on that one. Again, as a Catholic, I don't want to see anybody hurt, and I don't want to see anybody killed.
Right.
But what would we have done if that same exact thing was happening right next door?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it. I mean, hell, we went overseas to go do it. We went overseas to go collect our oil, right? We killed, over 1 million civilians to do it. So, look, I understand why Putin did what he did, and look, we made a deal. What was it? Not 1 inch. Right.
So
wasn't that the deal?
Yeah. So Zelensky, who was a comedian, supposedly was allegedly forced into taking this job because nobody wanted it. That's like the U.S. going to war and them coming to me and saying, "Hey, do you want to be president?"
Yeah. Right.
I mean, he's a comedian. I mean, I'll take the job.
Yeah,
And
sure.
now that he got the job, right? He was supposed to have an election last May. He doesn't want to let it
He doesn't
go.
want to let it go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's an
And
issue of
tonight,
contention. Yeah.
I heard on all of the stations out there, Fox News, he can't account for half the money that we gave him.
Yeah, we're going to get into that in the second half of this. Okay, guys, we're at 8:30 here, so let's go ahead and do our 5-minute break. Everybody, go get a drink or
I'm going to get a Tylenol. I'll be back.
so forth and so on, and we will be, and maybe a BP pill, blood pressure pill too. You're kind of fiery tonight. All right, we're going to
You
go.
sound a lot better though.
He does
You sound a
though,
lot
yeah.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So we're going to be back in about 5. Okay, folks, and we are back for the second half of I-12GIA, the Voice of Experience. For those of you that stuck around past the first half, thanks. We do appreciate that. And anybody watching us live on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe button, and we can keep this stuff going. So, fellas, I think we're going to do probably the last half of the show on Ukraine and all things Ukrainian. That sounds like fun. All right. Now, when I went down this rabbit hole today, I found so much disinformation and so much nonsense and so much bullshit, and you don't know who to believe, who not to believe. I went through OSINT, some other sources, and tried to find out anything. I tried to find out the truth about anything. It's just not there, and it's going to take something like Doge or AI or something to parse this mess. So what we're going to get tonight then is our opinions. Now, none of this is fact. I'm going to show you a video here in a few minutes that Facebook has designated as disinformation and has banned from their platform, which is kind of interesting. But I think we should be okay showing it here, because I'm gonna preface this by saying this has been documented as disinformation by those harbingers of truth over at PolitiFact. They said that none of this is really true. Now, once you see the video, you're going to realize, well, the reason that they said that is because Zelensky says he doesn't know what happened to, I don't know, however many millions of dollars that was sent to him. He only has like $75 million out of all the money that was sent over there. He doesn't know what happened to the rest of it. Well, that's true, because what actually happened to the rest of it is that it stayed here in the U.S. and was sent out to defense contractors and who knows, probably sort of politicians, and everybody got their 10% off the top and so forth and so on.
Can I throw the BS flag for a second?
Yeah.
So maybe a lot of that money didn't make it to Ukraine, which if it didn't, I'm happy, because that wasn't our deal. But I'm thinking a lot of the money ended up like, why do you think Elizabeth Warren is losing her head?
Right.
Why do you think Chuck Schumer's losing his head?
Right. And no, you are correct.
All those people. Because you know what? The money was going into their pockets.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The only
essentially what we did was cut off their funding.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Right.
All right.
Yeah. But,
okay. But specifically about this particular video, once you see it, you understand the reason it was designated as disinformation is because the implication was something else happened to the money. He implied that it's just floating around out there somewhere.
Let me ask you a question, though, Mike, because you brought up this is your baby, Ukraine. Let me ask you a question. What do you think happened when Biden said, if you fire the prosecutor, I'm leaving with $1 billion?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to know what happened to all that stuff.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Let's watch this real quick.
That was USAID.
Yeah, let's watch this real quick, and then we'll get into that stuff. Let's see if I actually figured out how to do videos here. Maybe if this works, I figured it out. If it doesn't work, then I didn't.
Дивіться,
so let's find out.
Я коли чую, і раніше чув, і сьогодні ми чуємо від Сполучених Штатів Америки, що Америка дала Україні сотні мільярдів, 177, якщо сказати більш точно. Така звучала точна цифра, яку підтримували або голосував Конгрес, тощо різні організації. Дивіться, я як президент воюючої країни вам говорю, ми отримали більше 75. Тобто 100 мільярдів з цих 177 або 200, говорять навіть деякі люди, ми ніколи не отримували. І це важливо. Бо ми говоримо про конкретні речі, бо ми отримали це не грошима, а зброєю. Ми зброю отримали на 70 з чимось мільярдів. Є навчання, тренування, є додатковий транспорт, є не тільки ціну на зброю, були гуманітарні програми, соціальні тощо. Але коли говорять, що Україна під час війни отримала 200 мільярдів на підтримку армії тощо, це неправда. Я не знаю, де всі ці гроші.
So that's the issue. there is that he says he doesn't know where all the money is.
So, as somebody who's fluent in several different languages, including Ukrainian, he was actually telling that girl with the dark hair that she looked like the toilet door on the shithouse door on a boat or on a tuna trawler, and she actually had the smell of a tuna fish. But
You're determined to get us kicked off of YouTube again.
I was going to say, did we get kicked off of YouTube yet?
I'll find out later tonight.
no, there he goes bullshitting again, and people are sucking it
Yeah, I
right
know.
up like a sponge.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that was the thing that they said was disinformation.
Jeff Schoberg just made a good point. The bank is closed and he's scared.
Exactly.
Of course he is.
Why do you think
Of course
he's
he
making
is.
the rounds?
Right.
Of course, and that's why he
'Cause
just
he's
what did
been
he just ask
shut
today?
off.
Today or yesterday, he asked for Europe to put together a military. Like he's freaking out.
Oh yeah, without a
He's
doubt.
freaking out.
Without a doubt. My question was, as you brought up earlier there, Specialist, going all the way back to the prosecutor being kicked out. Ukraine it's been one of the most corrupt countries in the world forever now. So why are they all of a sudden now, as far as the Democrats and liberals are concerned, this shining, glowing halo of truth and honesty?
Refresh my memory. How much was Hunter Biden getting to be on the board of Burisma?
Exactly. Yeah.
He got a monthly paycheck, and he knew nothing about gas.
Yep.
He couldn't even lift his leg and fart and know what a fart was.
Yep.
Yet he was getting like $60 or $80 million because he was an expert on gas. Oh my God!
I know.
Yep.
Not that kind of gas. Yeah.
I gotta go take another Tylenol.
Yeah, there are so many questions about all this, and I really don't know where it's going to go. As you said earlier, and I think everybody's kind of leaning more towards Russia. Is it a matter of keeping your friends close and your enemies closer, as far as President Trump is concerned, or is he actually honestly looking at Russia as more of a superpower issue with a buffer against China? There are so many things going on here that.
Well, first things first. We need to lower the tensions between the United States and Russia immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That should be number one, right? We like I said last week, we've never been as close as we were to World War III
Doomsday,
when we were in the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or at the height of the Cold War. We shouldn't be here now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when the fallout shelters were, removed from
Mm-hmm.
schools. You didn't have to worry about getting under the desk anymore. There were no drills on that, right? That threat was gone. I remember going to the beach with somebody at some point when I was a kid, and during the height of the Cold War, all right, with B-52s flying overhead, F-15s, F-111s. We saw that all day, every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was just that was common. There was there's a base close to where we live that was very active, and when the Cold War was done, it went away, right? That's a good thing, right? I never want to see a military reduction, but that was a good thing. Hostilities were lowered.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need to do right now. We should not have to worry about a nuclear exchange with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Those days are done. So whatever we have to do to lower those tensions, get it done. I don't care about Ukraine. They want Ukraine, they can have it, right? Mm-hmm. As long as he doesn't step off and start moving to the non-Soviet countries, right? If they want to build that back up, so be it. I'm not worried about it.
Today, Putin came out and said that Russia has reestablished diplomatic
ties, right,
with the United States. Right. And
good.
While we were on break, after I took my Tylenol, hoping my headache would subside from my blood vessel that's about to pop, I got a thing that come over my phone that said that Hegseth is cutting 8% of the Pentagon budget on orders from Donald Trump.
Well, that kind of makes sense.
Hmm.
Huh?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, who knows what they were spending Pentagon money on what do they call them? Drag queen dances,
Right.
Wait, that was a great. Can you do that one more time?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Remember, the internet is forever, so.
The internet is forever. Although that's why we'll never get the general with the dog face out of. We'll never get that
Oh
off,
my
right?
God,
We'll never get that
no
off.
kidding.
We're really striking fear into the hearts of the enemies, right?
Yeah.
No, we need to lower the tensions, right?
Mhm.
We need to start. We need to start. Remember the flyovers? Remember when the Cold War ended?
Yeah.
Russia used to fly over and do the satellite mapping of the United States. We did the
Yeah.
same thing there to show them that, hey, we're not
Yeah.
doing anything weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get
That
back
was
to
by
that.
mutual consent, by the way.
Yeah.
It was
You know,
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, it was.
The specialists and I both are of an age where we remember doing duck and cover drills in school.
In school, I remember
Yeah.
in third grade, when every time it sounded like the fire alarm system going off, but we used to have to get under our desk for 3 minutes.
Right.
Yep.
And they test the air raid sirens every Saturday
Yeah.
morning, and
Oh,
all
yeah.
across the country.
Of
And
course,
then
being a Jew, I get access to this program called Red Alert. And every time there's a missile launch, it sounds like an air raid going off on my phone. I'd be in the supermarket and the siren would be going off. People would be going, oh my God. Like,
We just test fired an ICBM yesterday, didn't we? Or late last night?
did we?
Yeah. Space Force conducted a Minuteman launch. They were doing something with trajectory. They were tracking. They were getting data on trajectory changes on the missile. So, but that popped up probably about an hour before we went on.
Sorry, guys, just a second here. Yeah, that was an interesting time with all the destruction of all the missile silos and all the ICBM silos and filling up with concrete and all that kind of crap was pretty interesting.
Happy birthday, Jeff.
Happy birthday, Jeff.
So I don't know what's going to happen about Ukraine. I think it's kind of, I mean, there's a lot of death, too much death and destruction throughout this whole thing, and there's really no reason for it. I just don't. Zelensky started a war with that he couldn't afford, and that shouldn't have happened to begin with. Thinking that. Go ahead.
So what have you guys noticed about this war? Now something I've noticed that I haven't seen anywhere else. To me, it's another weapons test, right?
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
The drone warfare is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can get that on any channel. You'll see, a Ukrainian drone, a Russian drone, or helicopter shooting drones down.
Mm-hmm.
That's some scary shit, and I think that's on purpose, right? It's you see soldiers from both sides, even the North Koreans, right? You see how the drone operators screw with them right before they dive the drone in and kill them. It's terrible, but I also think it's a warning to the rest of us of, hey, don't get out of line because we know how to do this. I think there's a lot of weapons testing going on as well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're proficient in the use of drones. I mean, look at Soleimani. Look at General Soleimani there at Baghdad International Airport a couple nights before Christmas in 2019 when Trump took him out.
Yeah. What?
There's a big difference between a Predator drone and then a drone you could throw a grenade on at Walmart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the type of the.
I got a military grade drone sitting to my right that I fly every day.
Yeah, we're gonna do.
And then you wonder why the government calls you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, I got an MQ-9 right over here. It's up.
That's not why they call me today, and you know it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying.
We're gonna read you your rights and we're gonna put you under oath. No, you're not.
Yeah, we're gonna do a show on drones here coming up in the future, I think.
Oh yeah, we should. Yeah.
But you're right, Professor. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. And as you said, these are consumer drones that are being weaponized.
Yeah.
And they're being really good at. Both sides are actually really good at it. But not only are they, they're also working their way onto the southern border now. And, those are things we really don't want to see activated here in the streets of America. We don't want to see TDA with a bunch of drones on Amazon.
No.
So how long is it going to be before somebody starts tracking Homeland or whoever starts tracking drone purchases.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sam Adams,
Hey,
I
Sam
agree.
Adams, I've been saying
do
that.
need-
I've been saying that for years, Sam.
Yeah.
We are not the world's police, and
That's right.
Right.
shame on anybody that wears an Article 5 ribbon on their uniform.
Yeah, we are not the world's police.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We need to focus on our own borders, right? You know, we've got border patrol agents getting killed in the north and the southern border. We need to focus on that. And I'm sure you guys have seen this, but
A lot of stuff came out about that today, though, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what with the whatever those weirdos are, the transvestite, whatever they
The trans Tifa people.
see. Yeah, trans Tifas. Yeah, that's finally got out there.
Lot of stuff came out on them today. Yeah.
So yeah, as far as I know, the U.S. has deployed surveillance aircraft to Mexico. So we are moving forward with that, and I guess the Mexican government has agreed to let us send special forces there. So
yeah, seventh.
It was gonna happen no matter what. But
yeah,
But can you believe how we have degraded as a nation, or transgressed as a nation and a society in 4 years that Democrats were in charge?
Well, so
all
so
this shit is like a cream starting to rise to the surface now.
So what did we do? Right? We over medicated people. We misdiagnosed people.
We're still medicating people in the emergency room and locking them up. Yeah.
We are giving them a shit ton of drugs and vaccines that haven't gone through testing yet. And then we tell them a good majority of their neighbors want to put them in concentration camps and kill them and destroy the world. And what do you think is going to happen? These people that are, traumatized to begin with, or have had some sort of mental issue to begin with, then we medicate them, then we scare the shit out of them. I mean, look, driving today, I look over and there's two people in the same vehicle with the windows up wearing masks. Are you shitting me? It's 2025. I thought we were over this. Are you kidding? These people are the ones that watch Rachel Maddow at night and actually believe everything she says. These are the same people that watch Margaret Brennan and believe everything she says, right?
God bless the masks. I watched a lady argue with a guy one day, because he wouldn't let her in the store because she didn't have a mask on. So she lifted up her dress, took her panties off, and put them over her head.
Yeah.
I mean, best sight I ever saw in my life.
Yeah. Something on those same lines, though. It's like with bird flu.
Happy birthday, Annie.
It's like with bird flu, for example, right now. Instead of they're trying to vaccinate chickens or some such bullshit, but instead of doing that or develop natural immunity, the same thing they did with us. They
want to vaccinate humans against the bird flu.
Yeah, they vaccinated us instead of letting natural immunity build.
So you need to watch that.
And it's the same thing with the chickens. If they killed off all the healthy ones.
Yes, you need to watch that.
Kill off the infected chickens, not the healthy ones, and let natural immunity build. But that's not the game plan here, though.
So last year, my PCP told me not to even get the flu vaccine. I go, why not? You usually have me get every. She goes, yeah, but she goes, mRNA vaccines. She goes, will have a tendency to have a negative effect on your immunosystem. She goes, so you may get drastically ill, not from the flu, but from another disease, simply because your immune system has been compromised by an mRNA vaccine. And when they give you the flu vaccine, they only guess what type of strain it's going to be. So there's no guarantee that you're going to get there's no guarantee you're not going to get the flu after you get the flu vaccine. Hell, I got the COVID vaccine in 2 boosters, and I ended up getting COVID twice. So, I mean, and that wasn't even a real vaccine.
So you better watch out, though. This is a play that the Democrats are doing, right? So we killed how many millions of chickens, right? And we're bitching about egg prices. Well, that's what happens when you kill most of your production. Now they are saying that, oh, well, we're finding traces of the bird flu in pasteurized milk. We might have to do away with the cows. Watch that.
Yep.
Watch that. That is scary. And I'm telling you, these people aren't, they're not all there, and they shouldn't have the power that they have. So
No, they don't. And that's one of the things the last 4 years should have taught all of us is they're a bunch of evil bastards, man.
Mhm.
You know, and they have an agenda, and that's why, as you said, 77 million people voted for the guy that's in office right now, is to straighten this mess out. But we
Well,
need to,
I posted today. I'm trying to find it. I said she should be arrested, she should be tried, she should be convicted, and she should be executed. And I'd like to be there when she's executed. Remember Dr. Bricks, Fauci's assistant?
Mhm.
So she came out today and confirmed that COVID vaccine was not designed to prevent infection. And it goes on to say Dr. Deborah Birx, who served as the White House coronavirus response coordinator under President Donald Trump, shared some new revelations about the COVID-19 vaccine. In an appearance on Piers Morgan's Uncensored, she said, "We did wrong in public health by not explaining the COVID vaccine, how it is unlike childhood vaccines." So, you know what? She needs to be arrested. She needs to be tried. She needs to be found guilty, and she needs to be executed for her crimes.
So you're saying treason?
Yep,
I
absolutely.
agree. Yeah, no, I think there
every
should, I
minute
think
of
there should
every
be some
second of
arrests on
every
treason.
day. Huh?
I do think there should be some arrests for treason. Absolutely. You know, why haven't we rescinded the legal protections for Pfizer and Moderna and all that? You know, and if I'm not mistaken, our former president went on and remember he said it was going to be the summer of death or the winter of death, somewhere in there, and it's a pandemic of the unvaccinated, and if you get the shot, you won't get sick. Well, my mother got the shot. Not only did she get COVID multiple times, but she also had a massive, rapid growing cancer that they weren't sure where it came from. And she's not the first person I heard
Same
that.
with your cousin Abby, my niece.
Exactly.
She got
Right?
stage
And
3
then-
metastatic breast cancer. She's only in her early 20s.
And it was rapid.
Yep.
The doctor said they haven't seen anything like that before. Of
Yeah.
course not, because now we've introduced all sorts of drugs into all sorts of people, and people's bodies react different. If your blood sugar drops to 75, you might be okay. It could go to 74 and you could be unresponsive. My blood sugar could drop from 86 to 83 and I could go unresponsive. People are bodies react differently. And the first thing we should have done was remove the legal protections and allow families to be able to take legal action if something happens to their loved one as a result of
Well,
taking
you know
the
what?
vaccine.
You got a new president, and you got a new attorney general, and I haven't heard squat out of them on this.
No, you're right. You're right. And but also, you know, why did Dr. Fauci need a pardon? Why did he need a pardon? If I'm not mistaken, our friends on the left side on the left said that you only get a pardon if you've done a crime, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a crime there, right?
Why did they leave Deborah Birx out to hang on her own?
Yeah. Didn't Marjorie Taylor Greene just introduce a bill in Congress though, addressing specifically?
What?
I love MTG. I
The
believe she did.
immunity for Pfizer and the drug companies.
I
There's a
would
bill.
hope
There's
so.
a bill in Congress right now to remove that protection.
Yeah.
And to allow legal action. So we'll see. All right, fellas, we've taken up our hour, and I think we've covered everything that we're going to cover today.
No, we haven't, have we? Really?
Yeah, we have. Yep.
Sam
actually, we're
Adams,
just a
good
little over.
point. That's a good point. We removed God from a society and then wondered why society became godless heathens. That's right.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Annie said she didn't get the flu shot. She didn't get any of the shots, and that's a good call on her part. I was
call,
forced to
Annie.
get them by the sheriff as a condition of my continued employment.
Yep.
All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. We covered all of our topics and got a little off the tracks on COVID and shots and vaccines, but that's always good though, because we do that for every show. That's cool. Let's see, fellas, go ahead and not a real professor. Do you want to explain why you're not a real professor before you go?
Yeah, no, just when I was talking about the activist journalist and fake news, because I mean, let's be honest, most of the news out there is fake, and I don't trust any of the mainstream media. Same thing. Basically, I'm trying to encourage people to, do your own research. Look into this from multiple sources for yourself. So just because a few really cool people call me professor, I'm not actually a professor of anything. So it's one of those, don't believe the first thing that you see. Do some research.
But you do play one on TV.
I play one on TV, usually Wednesday nights at 8:00.
Exactly. So, all right. We'll finish up with your good nights then, and we'll go around our little circle here and call it a night.
Thank you for everybody that tuned in. Love to talk to you guys. God bless America. God bless Israel. Stay safe, and remember, proper planning prevents poor performance. Get some training.
There you have it. Mr. Specialist, what do you have? What say you, sir?
I'm not a gynecologist, but I'll be happy to take a look. Anyway.
All right, I got to do it. I have a new tattoo. Stop. Don't say anything. I have a new tattoo right here. Right, in runes. It says, "Oh, for fuck's sake." Okay. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to hold my arm up like that, and that. Oh, for fuck. Go ahead.
You two pushed me to that. All right.
Yeah, right.
So I didn't do that on my own. Anyway,
for fuck's sake.
Thank you for everybody that tuned in tonight. Happy birthday, Jeffrey. Happy birthday, Annie. Sam Adams, great. Love having you, brother. You got to come on and do some talking too.
Yeah.
My beautiful daughter-in-law, Amanda. God bless the United States, Israel, and the 3 bodies that'll be a return tomorrow, the mother and the 2 babies. There's going to be no making up for that. That's got to be avenged.
Yep.
And pray for Trump and his administration. And every day something new comes out, something we need to know about. And I am just shocked and amazed at everything that went on these past 4 years and how close we come to destruction. And I'm grateful for Trump. I just wish he'd keep his word on some things, but I'll take that day by day. He's still my man.
There you have it. Okay. For our loyal viewers, thank you for sticking around. We get a little bit more seems like every show we get a few more, and we really do appreciate your participation. If you want to get a hold of us, as you can see scrolling across the bottom of the screen, our email is contact@i12gia.net. And if you have any suggestions for shows or anything you want to talk about, please let us know, and we'll be happy to get right back to you and see if we can't do that. So on that happy note, I'm Instructor Fogg. We have the specialist up there on the top. We have not a real professor. Say a little prayer for Nomad tonight. I have a feeling he's asshole deep in elbows somewhere in the world, and we have no idea where. But I'm sure he would appreciate a little help. Just give the ones you love a big hug and keep them close, and be prepared to self-rescue, folks, because there ain't nobody coming to help you. So I think I'll close us out for the night, and we will see everyone next Wednesday at the same time. Good night.